Zebec Network has just been added on Europe's biggest exchange listing, and we need to discuss why that is so important in today's video. Hey guys, Foxy's Trading here, back with another crypto video for you guys, and we are back talking about Zebec Network, one of the strongest crypto projects out there in the moment that I am insanely bullish about. So, yes, you heard me right. Zebec has secured Europe's biggest exchange listing. So we're going to break this down, and then we're going to look at market structure at the end of the video, talking about where price is headed. Okay. So Zebec is listed on Bitvavo. I hope I am saying that right. The largest European spot exchange, Europe's first MiCA compliant exchange. So let's break this down. What is Bitvavo? Why is this so important? And I know a lot of you guys were thinking, oh, maybe Coinbase, maybe Binance. No, I understand why you're thinking that, as maybe an American, as maybe a Canadian living in the North America. But this is also very bullish and very massive for Zebec. So let's get into it. Bitvavo is the largest crypto exchange in Europe by trading volume. So think of it as the Coinbase of Europe. But also it is focused purely on European Union's regulated market, and we know how strict that market is. So this listing means that Zebec is now available to millions of verified European users, now reaching past Zebec's reach in Asia and North America. Now we are tapping into the European market, and we want Zebec to be in every market possible. Okay. So a couple of videos ago, I explained what MiCA was. So what is MiCA? Just a little quick refresher for anybody that doesn't remember. MiCA stands for Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation, which is the EU's new legal framework for crypto. It's the fully standardized crypto laws for all 27 European countries. Okay. So Bitvavo being MiCA compliant, it means that the strict rules around transparency and investor protection and stablecoin management, it shows how Zebec's inclusion is a very legitimate program and a legitimate entry into the market. Okay, so we have expanded into the European market. We are on MiCA's listing. We are showing that we are regulated, that we are strong, that we are secure. Everything is being pushed into the right direction for this partnership, for this listing, I should say. Okay, so like I said, it shows the legitimacy of Zebec. It puts it above, I want to say 90% of the competition, 95% of the competition. Okay. It really shows the credibility of Zebec with regulators, with businesses, with investors, and it's just the beginning, right? This is the first step to a larger expansion, the European expansion. The European expansion for what do we want? We want payroll in Europe, right? That is Zebec's massive thing. That is the Zebec main thing, is about payroll. So yes, we have tapped into the market on a listing, but now why don't we tap into a payroll? Why don't we partnership with a business, with a maybe like a government program, something like that, to provide payroll to those employees? And I really do believe it will come. Sooner than later, we will be getting Zebec's first European payroll partnership. You can call it, you can write it down. I think everybody understands that that is where Zebec wants to go. Okay, so this is just a step in a fantastic direction. It opens the financial world, institution world, partnership, everything possible. It brings that to Zebec. Okay, so now let's have a look at the market structure. First, let's look at coin market cap. 26% up in the last week. It was very nice, but we are seeing some resistance. I will explain that in a second. Up in market cap, up in volume very slightly. On a bunch of massive exchanges, we are still waiting for a few big ones, Binance being obviously the biggest one. And we are 89% compliant, community sentiment bullish. Let's get that to 90%, shall we? So looking at market structure, what did I mark out before, right? We had this fair value gap, which is an imbalance in price, where price usually likes to use it as support or resistance, okay? So what happened? We broke below the fair value gap, right? And then we pushed down a little bit. Now, what's very interesting is that I was expecting price to sweep this liquidity. Why? Because this is a strong low. And usually price likes to sweep liquidity. Why? Because money is held where there is liquidity. There is a bunch of buy orders here, and there's also a bunch of stop losses here, right? So money likes to go where liquidity is. That is just simple market structure. Now we have seen price not take out liquidity before it moves in the opposite direction. And I can show you that actually on the Zebec right over here, right? You can see how we had these strong lows over here, and price actually did not take it out before boom pushing to the upside. Okay, so yes, it is possible that we don't take it out before going to the upside. Now we can see that price is starting to test this weekly fair value gap, and we are rejecting right away after tapping into it. So it's going to be interesting to see in the next couple of days how we test this area. Do we want to break right above and just push to the upside, or will we consolidate, maybe go back, take down the sweep before pushing to the upside? Now, both of those scenarios are very possible. What else do I want you guys to know? This is not fully Zebec related, but I am hearing that there is speculation that the US government will be back and running in very short notice. There is a vote to resume the government, and that will do one of two things in crypto. One, for sure, it will bring volatility, but the other one, price will possibly go boom, skyrocket up, or boom, skyrocket down. Now, we don't know yet. There might be manipulation in the market, so we have to watch out for that. Another thing I'm looking at is on Bitcoin, right? Kind of following the same idea. We have this low-hanging fruit of liquidity right over here. Now, Bitcoin has been liking the sweeps of liquidity very often, right? This liquidity was swept, followed by this liquidity right over here, and obviously the biggest one right over here before we push to the downside. So what I am expecting, which will align with our Zebec views, is price pushes down, we sweep out liquidity, and then we start getting our moves to the upside, which would align with Zebec, right? It would sweep liquidity, and then we would push to the upside. So we will see how this plays out, because we have been on a daily in a bearish trend, but we are starting to flip that. Let me show you. So we have these equal highs, lower high followed by lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? You can see that step ladder to the downside. Now, what do we see? We see we have these highs, and now we are going to make a higher high from that area. So let's see if we can form a higher low, right? Because if we close like this, and then we form a higher low right over here, we might start seeing some bullish price action. And then if we could close above these highs, price maybe will do something like this, right? That seems very realistic. So that is what I'm going to be looking out for. Now, if you guys are not in Zebec yet and you are looking at getting it, I will always advocate that any price of Zebec is a good buy opportunity, just because I believe in this project so strongly, to the point where I think if you get in here, or if you get in here, your gains in the future will still be fantastic, because I am holding for a long run. They are just starting, right? The partners and the balls, they are just starting to roll, right? You can see how everything is just beginning to flow, and I'm just waiting till it really grows into a massive, massive company project. It's going to be huge in the future. I really do believe it. They're doing fantastic things. So I would say you can, one, be patient, wait for this sweep, and purchase here. You get a little bit of a discount price. But if you want to be a little bit more safe and secure, you can wait for price to close above here, because then we will most likely be in a bullish trend once again. After we clear out all of these highs, we will be bullish, and then price can start going to the upside, right? So those are my two ideas. That was my little trade analysis, market structure breakdown. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, make sure you comment, subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me. The Zebec community is the strongest. You guys always bring it, show me so much love. I absolutely appreciate all of you. Make sure you guys do your own research also, because I am not a financial advisor, and I'll see everybody in the next video.